I'm your host, Coach Monica. I'm joined today by Coach Darcy, and we are here to guide you through the ins and outs of a lifestyle that's transformed not just our lives, but the lives of countless women navigating the waves of perimenopause and menopause. Whether you're here to shed weight, understand your body better, or simply find a community that gets it, you're in the right place. So sit back and enjoy the next few minutes as we tackle the hot issues of today. Good morning, everybody.
Good morning.
Good to see you.
I feel like it's been 500 hours since I've seen you.
It has been a long time. Mondays are not good for our coaching relationship on a
It's not.
professional level because we're really. Is Monday your busy day?
It depends.
Yeah.
But yeah.
I don't know why all of our clients choose Monday. It's like, is that because, wow, I made it through a weekend, I need to get back on track, or I don't know, but Mondays are crazy busy.
Yeah.
Tuesdays are a little better, but Tuesdays I go back to the gym, so I come back a hot mess. But shout out, I gotta show my Mother's Day presents. Shout out to my amazing daughter-in-laws and my shirt here.
Cracked up.
I thought this would be a great uniform to wear on my coaching sessions.
That's hilarious.
I love it. And then my other daughter took me out for breakfast. And
The one that just graduated?
The one that just graduated. She took me out for breakfast and gave me some tulips. And the child who's never bought me anything in his life that I can, well, I take that back. For Christmas, yeah, he goes, he's a very wealthy man. He's very wealthy. But he just sent me $20 Starbucks gift card.
Aww.
That's the coolest thing ever.
That is precious.
What about you? Did your husband train your children?
Listen, yesterday, was it? No, that's Monday. I don't even know what day it is. Sunday was great. I served on the worship team, and then we came home, and husbands made food.
Okay.
I had brisket and smoked chicken,
wow.
and we just hung out, and they served us well, and the kids were appreciative.
I love it.
Yes.
I told my sons, I looked them in the face this weekend, and I said, train your children to take care of mom.
Though our mother ignored my text because
she told me you didn't call her.
No, I texted her. She sent nothing. Anyway,
she was waiting for you to call her.
Here's the thing. And
it would have been monopolized by our brother, though, who came and took them away from the entire family.
Oh, did they?
Oh, yes.
See, anyway, we'll talk about this later.
Yeah.
But just the fact of you want to kind of celebrate, like this was the first year I think we felt very celebrated because I think my mother-in-law also got a little like, I was just focused on this brisket that I wanted to eat. Didn't even think about anything else.
You were nailed into the brisket.
So I did not win the award for best daughter of Mother's Day.
Yeah.
But I sent a photo.
You sent a photo?
And I said, I'd love to celebrate your big birthday, Mom. And she said nothing to me. She didn't care.
Well, yeah, you better make it up to her.
Well, that was my plan in the beginning. Anyway, this is not about my faults in being a daughter. This is about
I just instilled that into our boys that because you know who bought me the shirt and this lovely mama cup. Mm-hmm. You know it wasn't my boys.
Right. Yes.
I apologize if it was.
Yeah.
But you're gonna luck out because you're gonna get two amazing daughter-in-laws like I have, and you won't have to worry about that. You're just automatically taken care of. So
well, yes, either that or I understand. I'll understand their seasons of you really stink as a human being right now.
We all have those.
Hey,
we all have them.
It's baseball season. There's been it's a full moon. Like I'm just surviving.
And I think that's important to kind of slide into our discussion today.
Absolutely.
It's important to go through those seasons of I am just surviving. I have not been able to go to the gym. I am in a season this May. We have gone from graduation to baby to showers to, I mean, there has been something on our calendar big, like
Yeah.
Brian's 50th birthday party, oh, we celebrate our 30th wedding anniversary, and I thought I missed it.
Oh, it's not yet because
It's next
mine's not
week.
yet.
It's next week. Whew. Okay. So, yeah,
Oh,
it's been like
goodness.
that.
Yeah.
And so last week I missed the gym completely, and I didn't want to go today. Yesterday, I was just catching up from the house being torn apart from our party for the graduation. And today I'm like, I don't even care if I am effective at the gym today. I'm just going to
Just
go
go.
hold my place there,
Yes.
And I think it's okay to do that sometimes. What is not okay, and what we really, really instill in our clients, and this is really important. If you have a goal, if you have a weight loss goal, if you have a health goal, it is okay to take your foot off the accelerator from pushing yourself. It is not okay to go off plan,
Yeah.
right? Because
Yep.
when you go off plan, you are just losing and gaining the same 5 pounds over, and you're wasting your money, right? Completely wasting your money. And it's not okay to go off plan. So, I don't know. You saw our macros. You're the macro coach. Have you checked the Mother's Day macros yet for our clients?
Yeah. I feel like
How'd they do?
I feel like they did great.
Don't name any names, but how did they do?
I feel like that's HIPAA.
If you're a client of ours, report in for duty. Put it in the
Yeah.
comments. Well, how did you do
Yeah.
over
Yeah.
Mother's Day? Right?
I honestly, Mother's Day is really easy because you can definitely do like out to eat, like not out
Hmm.
to eat, but grilling stuff.
Yeah,
Like I
grilling. Yeah.
just did I mention that? Like the brisket and the chicken,
I
and
feel like
I
you
might
had
have.
some good brisket.
Um, the best brisket I had was in Arizona, but like it was,
Yeah, Texas
yeah,
for me.
yeah.
Oh my gosh.
They know how to make their brisket.
You and I are going to take a trip to KetoCon one year. It's in
Yes.
Texas.
Can
Oh
we?
my gosh. Yes.
Um,
Oh,
yeah.
so yeah,
So
you don't have to go off plan.
no, you
You
don't.
choose to go off plan. When you go off plan, it is a choice, and you choose that, and you just have to weigh out, okay, do I want this goal or do I not want this goal?
Yeah.
There's nothing that we coaches can do to push you into choosing the right things.
You
You
know,
make a choice, right?
yeah. Hold on. I'm bringing up some notes that
All right.
some client the other day was talking about the willingness. I
Yes.
loved that. I like to use
Willing
power
versus
words,
yes.
but she used it in like the willingness versus
Trying.
trying versus willingness. Yeah, we all want to try. Yeah,
Mhm.
and all ideally, yeah, we want to be healthy and we don't want to have to worry about,
Mhm.
our health. We want to just be able to eat what we want.
Yeah.
Don't want to have to grieve the things
Yeah.
that are causing us to have health problems.
Yeah.
But when you decide to make the choice
Mhm.
of, oh, I'm going to try this,
You will.
you're kind of being flaky.
Yeah.
Honestly, you've got to be
You'll take the
willing.
path of least resistance.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you got to have the willingness to
How did he
have
say
this
that?
lifestyle.
I forget who said it in group. I mean, we don't have to say who, but
No,
if it was Gary or
we're not
one of
saying
our,
who.
well, Gary isn't a client. He's a leader in there.
Let's
So I
hear.
figure it's okay for him
Oh,
for me to say his name. I don't know, but I think it was him who said, well, there's a different feeling and a different result of, oh, I'll try to do this versus I'm willing to do this.
hey, that was me.
Wow. Oh, Gary.
No, I'm just kidding.
See, there we go. There's a completely
Yeah,
different result.
yeah,
Like, Darcy, I am willing to go sugar free and keep my sugar free promises to myself on Mother's Day. I'm willing to do it.
yeah,
I'm going to do it versus Darcy, I'm going to try to do it.
yeah.
The first margarita
It's so
that pops out of
flaky.
that cooler, you're going to take it.
So
Right?
flaky. Yeah.
Yeah.
You're going to, with a flake, you're
Yeah.
able to break that flake so much
Right.
faster and so much easier
Yeah.
than a commitment, a promise.
Yeah.
You don't want to break that promise to yourself. So we never make promises to ourselves.
Right.
We're like, I'm gonna try to do that. So we encourage our clients to use power words
Mm-hmm.
and be willing to grieve the things that are not healthy for you here in
Exactly.
America. I have to say here in
Exactly.
America because our food is not the same. as other
Yeah.
countries.
Yeah.
But
Speaking of which, the top of the news this week was the pharma. That's a
yeah,
very interesting turn of events. And I'm
yeah.
a mixed basket when it comes to if you're from the States and you saw the press conference yesterday and uh, what pharma does to us. And I was so badly wanted to send a family text because I truly want his opinion, but I don't know if he'd give it to me. To our brother-in-law, what's your
Oh,
opinion? What's your opinion on what just happened? Like, I want all sides of it. I can't understand how people who just simply don't like the president say, "Oh, that's a bad deal," when you can go over to Europe and get a drug for $88 and over here it's 1,500. How in the world are we mad at somebody who's trying to bring the drug costs down?
yeah.
So I've got that side of me. Then I've got the side of me that says, well, we shouldn't give drugs out like candy. And if we lower the cost, is that going to, I'm all
But
over the place on
here's
that.
my opinion though, like, you know, RFK
Hmm.
is doing a balance of focusing on making us healthier so we don't necessarily need to
Need it.
depend on
Right.
those. Now there's going to be people who choose, just like we were talking about, the
Yep.
willingness to choose to
Yep.
change their lifestyle.
Yep.
There's going to be those people who are going to be mules and
Yeah.
not want to budge from that.
Yeah.
We've seen also some lifestyles where somebody's changing their lifestyle in a family, and the another family member is affected by it just as
Hmm.
much because they are changing how
Yeah.
they're eating and their choices that they make inside their home. I
Right.
think that's the whole point with RFK is like if we are going to be cutting this pharma price because they are, you know,
Hmm.
I mean, we'll talk about our father and his price that he is mandatory to take for the rest of his life
Hmm.
and hit the cost of
Exactly.
that medication,
Insulin for type 1
insulin,
diabetics.
like those
Yeah.
are mandatory and
An
they
EpiPen.
are taking advantage of
Yes.
people. And
Yes.
so, yes, you cutting those in half is going to be
Hmm.
super beneficial, but also the balance of not just cutting the drug prices in half, but also
Hmm.
getting the
Right.
junk out of our food. So
Exactly.
all of that is a balance, and people may like it, they may dislike it. But
Yeah.
whatever side of the fence you're on, it comes down to what I also tell my
Hmm.
my clients is being patient.
Yeah. I'm on the learning side of the fence right now.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think I'm really, really excited to see how these pharma companies are going to be held responsible
Hmm.
for gouging and for killing people.
Yeah.
I'm really, really excited
They
about
wouldn't
that.
see they're killing people though. They don't see
Oh,
it that way.
well, if you have a life-saving drug and
Yeah.
somebody can't afford it, yes, you're
Yes.
killing
Yeah.
people. It's criminal to me.
Well, it goes back to the video that I was talking about to you earlier about this specialist cardiologist who was
Yeah.
dogging on the ketogenic and the carnivore
Mhm.
lifestyle, and the people that have dedicated their life from being an MD or a scientist,
Mhm.
and have basically said no to the norm, the old ways
Mhm.
of science and doctorship. I don't know if that's a word, but I'm
Mhm.
making it. And dogging on those people because they're just trying to sell their books,
Yeah.
or they don't have evidence. But I'm a specialist and
Right.
I know about the heart. But yet in the same breath, this cardiologist is still pumping
Yeah.
medications. So
Exactly.
what good are you if you're just pumping medications to that person? You're not fixing the problem.
Exactly.
So,
Well,
um
their jobs are being threatened because they know that they operate it and they doctor in sick care and they
yeah.
depend on sick care. These physicians depend on you being sick. And of course, now I believe with my whole heart, I believe there's a couple different kinds. I believe that everybody goes into medicine thinking that they're going to help people with a
Mhm.
good heart, and they're not in there and they're not compromised. But the minute they get in there, and that's what they're giving Casey Means a hard time for. She couldn't take it. She could not. She said, I could not in good conscience cut on another person knowing that I was not healing them, that I was making
Right.
things worse. And so
Right.
she walked away from it, and she has more awards, she has more education than anyone. She was at the top of her class at Stanford. She could not morally, with a good conscience, cut on another person knowing she was killing them. She couldn't do
Right.
it.
Right.
And so now she's the bad guy, and there's all this controversy now because she's not in an active practice. Well, I'm thankful she's not in an active practice. And these doctors need to be held accountable for what they're doing,
Yeah.
for not helping people and making them well. I think they're compromised. I don't know. I'd like to know. I'd love to ask her at what year of her residency or what year of her education was the corruption. Was it
Yeah.
the beginning of pharma class? At what year did you really find out, oh, this is not what I'm going into this thing
Mhm.
for?
Yeah.
You know.
You think about the practices of doctors back in the day and the science, all the science that they had to do in order to find the root cause and the all the different techniques that have
Mhm.
come about over the years.
Mhm.
The thing that's missing from that is yes, we are more intelligent, we have more data behind our belts,
Mhm.
but the thing that's missing is the curiosity. The
Yes.
fact of the
Yes.
asking of the what ifs and,
Right.
well, why? Why is this? Why is
Mhm.
this heart doing that? And then, oh, instead of just putting a Band-Aid on it,
Yeah.
because they don't have the answers to it, they're like, that's we don't have doctors like that. So these
Right.
people that are stepping against the grain of the doctorship,
Mhm.
I'm just
Exactly.
still gonna use that, I like it. The
And then
doctorship,
they're deemed the bad ones
they're
and the
yeah, they're
uneducated one, and
demonized.
they're actually making people better. I
Yeah.
think chiropractors are in the kind of in that
Yeah, they
same
are.
boat.
They
They're
are.
demonized for what they do, and
They
they're
are.
literally saving people's lives.
They know the body so well. Like, for
Mhm.
somebody who has experience, yeah, they're specialists and doctors have to hone in on one
Yeah.
portion of the
Yep.
body and they can't veer off from that.
Yep.
Chiropractors, they know the whole body and the
Exactly.
whole body works together. It's
Exactly.
not just one bit, it's a whole piece
Yeah.
that works hand in hand, just like how I've been diving deep into Dr. Chris Palmer's book
Mhm.
about, the mind
Yeah.
and how our brain is just we just are feeding it crap. And
Right.
so we wonder why we have so many mental illnesses and why we have all of these issues with clarity and
Mhm.
being tired all the time. Like, we're not feeding our brain.
Yeah. Yeah.
So it's
And
it's
again, in
the
defense of these doctors, in defense, we have a bunch of lazy people.
yeah,
We have a bunch of lazy people who don't want to work for their health and they don't want to give up the
that's true.
things that they're addicted to. They don't want to admit that they have an addiction. And they don't want to give it up. So the doctors get 10 minutes with them. They don't have time to tell them how to eat. They don't have time. I believe most of them don't believe that our bodies are connected, that our organs are connected.
Right.
I don't think they believe that. But in Dr. Mean's book, Good Energy, she talks about medicine started to fall apart when we started to isolate doctors into specialties
Yeah.
and force them into dealing with 3 inches of the body versus the entire body. And I mean, we just were talking about insulin a few minutes ago.
Yeah.
And the fact that doctors are saying that insulin resistance, it's not a problem. I mean, I am not a smart woman. I really am not. I did not graduate at the top of my class, but I know how insulin works. And I understand when I was nearly 300 pounds and I had that tire around my middle, I had skin tags, my blood pressure was stroke level. I understand why. I understand that the insulin was killing me. The insulin is the number one fat storage hormone. It's not bad to have insulin resistance. I That took a lot of gall for that doctor to say
Yeah.
that.
Um, yeah, I
My gosh.
I was I was saying words.
And we have trust issues. We wonder why we have trust issues. Here's a pill. Insulin resistance isn't bad. Come on. Insulin resistance is the root of all
Yeah.
of the sickness. Inflammation is the root of all of your sickness.
Yeah. And the fact that, doctors are pushing, "Oh, we just don't eat enough fruits and vegetables." That was another thing.
Oh,
"We
okay.
just don't eat enough fruits and vegetables."
Okay.
And I'm thinking, "Actually, we do, we just don't have moderation."
Yeah, yeah.
We There's no moderation, and then we also focus on those nutrient-dense
Dense
foods
foods, right.
that you are not getting, like, we are starving ourselves even though the
Yeah.
calories
Yeah.
prove otherwise,
Right, we
we're
are.
still
We're skinny
eating nutrient-dense
fat
foods.
skinny fat.
Yeah, yeah.
Well,
Anyways,
Robert Kennedy, RFK was talking about the Twinkies and how they were designed to be
yeah,
melting in your mouth, um, to bring
versus
addictions,
yeah,
versus
yeah,
chewing it. And
mhm.
Oh, yeah. It's so frustrating. So kudos to our clients who actually listen to what we say and are changing their lives from the inside out. Um, those people are going to live a long time. Those
Yeah.
people are going to find a brand new life. And um, if you're frustrated with your physician, if you're frustrated, take your health back into your own hands. I love researchers. I love people that are like, hey, I'll have people message me on Facebook and say, "Hey, I saw this video. Could you take a look at it?" And they're curious. Like,
Yeah.
"Hey, it's exactly what happened." And that's how allulose. We'll talk about that in a few minutes. How that was discovered and we're like, "Oh my gosh, this has been sitting right in front of us and we didn't know the benefits of this." Somebody got curious and they're like, "Hey, when I have a tablespoon of allulose before my dinner, my blood sugar doesn't go up. What the heck?" And they start asking questions. If we rely if we rely on doctors, we're just going to take a pill, shut up, and go watch some more TV. That's what we're going to do.
Yeah.
So,
And then another thing occurs. And then
hmm
you have to go back to the doctor and
yeah,
we'll give this one too.
yeah. The
These
most
work well
successful
together.
clients we have are the clients who don't really care about the scale, who just trust us with the macros. And they're like, I am doing this because I want to be whole from the inside out.
Yeah.
And the
And
ones who
free.
settle in to the healing. Yeah.
Yeah. They want to be free from the chains
Yes.
that food binds them to. Like
Yeah.
they just the freedom to of medications, the
Mm-hmm.
freedom of allowing our bodies to heal themselves
Yeah.
because that's the way they were created to be.
Mm-hmm.
Now, there are some special cases out there, yeah, that yes, you got dealt some
Absolutely.
not great cards.
Absolutely.
But there's things that you can do to slow down the process.
Right. One of my biggest annoyances is if you make a statement, and you're like, you make a statement. Somebody in the world will come up with
Yes.
that one exception of how what you said was not true. It's
Yes.
like this the spirit
Well,
of Facebook or something. I'm like, all right. Anything
I
we say,
I
there's an
know exact
exception.
I
Oh
know
my.
exact post that you posted.
Uh-huh. You know
Well,
exactly
I
what it is.
have that. Like,
Oh,
oh
so
my gosh. Yes.
anyway,
Yeah.
yeah. So we're taking our health back. I'm
Yeah.
excited. I'm going to be watching the pharmaceutical thing very closely. A concern of mine is the fat shot. I'm going to
Yeah.
start calling that. That's what
That
he
is
called it
hilarious.
yesterday.
The
Fat
fat
shot.
shot.
Um, the damage that we're going to have to change our practice. And you and I have talked about that. We're going to have to change the way we do business because there are people that come to us who don't want to work and they don't want whole body healing. They just want, um,
Skinny eyes.
well, I was going to say they want the fat off, but when you go on that shot, you're not getting the fat off. You're
Right.
getting the muscle off. And this is really scary long term when we look at these people who will have to be on the shot for life because you will have to. If you choose the shot, it's a lifetime shot. It's not a one and done thing. We're going to see at the end of towards the end of their life, when they're in their 60s, what is their muscle going to be? That's when you need the muscle to
Right.
stay healthy.
Well, when you
What
hit
are
a
these
certain
people going to look
age, at
like?
the age of 30, your human growth hormones
Mhm.
stop. They slow down.
Yeah.
So if you're not in the gym and working out, it's not like when you were a teenager and
Uh-huh.
oh, I go out to the gym once a week and I'm super strong
Yeah.
and thin and fit.
No.
No, you have to work hard for that. And when you
Right.
lose that muscle,
You don't
you know
get
how
it
hard
back.
you're frail.
Yeah.
Like just thinking of, and that's part of my newest why is I do not want to be frail when I'm,
Mm-mm.
62. I don't want to be frail when
No.
I'm 82. I want to be having the muscles
Right.
that I need to have because
Mhm.
I'm treating my body well.
Yeah.
And
They're trading a momentary size clothes for a lifetime of health. These people
mhm,
who are on this and they're choosing it. And I want to be and I was a part of a conversation between my colleagues in the addiction world of what are we going to do with the shot? Could this shot help addiction? Of course it could
mhm,
because you lose your cravings while
yeah,
you're on it.
right.
I was the only one who got up and I was in a room full of doctors, CEOs. I was the little tiny ant in the room when we were in this call. And it was my turn to talk and I'm like, "Oh crap. These guys are pro shot." They don't have a choice. Holistic doctors don't have a choice now because people don't want to work for weight loss. They want a
Right.
shortcut. So they don't have, if they want to stay in business, they don't have a choice. They've got to adapt. Weight Watchers had to adapt. They had to go. Well, now they're bankrupt, and that you see where it got them. But so I'm in this room with all of these amazing people, and I'm like, oh crap, I'm the only one that opposes this. And I said, you're going to hear me say a whole potpourri of things here. And I said, it's all not going to make sense, but I have a lot of questions. What is your exit plan for these people? What is the exit plan? How are these people getting off of the shot? Because certainly there's people who can't afford it. What is the exit plan? What if they get sick with a paralyzed stomach? What is your exit plan? One doc said, there isn't one. Lifetime shot. A lifetime shot.
Mm-hmm.
So that is their plan. It's a lifetime shot. And what kills me and what makes me super angry, and we work with clients on a GLP-1. We work with them. It's a different plan. We have to have a different plan. But what makes me angry is when you put a teenager on the shot. That's abuse.
Right.
That is abuse. You are giving this shot and they're putting kids on it. First of all, if you have an overweight kid, and if you have, again, somebody's going to come at me. Oh, my kid, no. You buy the food for the kid, right?
Yeah.
If you have a kid with type 2 diabetes, that's on you. Sorry, it is. We don't have to live with type 2 diabetes, right? If you have a kid who's obese and you're putting them on the shot, my gosh, that's a lifetime prison sentence you're giving this kid. That's what it is. Is there a time for the shot? Yeah, I do believe there is.
I agree.
And that's where we came out of this meeting. And I loved this meeting. I have so much respect for the people that I was in that meeting with, because they're all being dealt the same hand as I am, and with this company. We've got people who don't want to work to lose weight, and so they're going to take the shortcut. There are people who this is a tool for. There are. I've referred to. And so, yeah. I don't know.
That's fun. Thanks for spamming.
How do we delete them?
I don't know. It's on your Insta or your
LinkedIn. Figure out
anyway,
dude.
Thanks. Oh, you just
I'm gonna just show everybody there.
Show everybody it. Yeah. So
add to block list. There we go. Bye, buddy.
Here's the thing of my I don't feel like we have the common sense that we used to anymore, or the curiosity, because I feel like doctors are, not all of them. Again, we have to disclaim here that not all doctors believe this, and we're not against all doctors. Disclaimer. No. Because there's fantastic ones out there.
Yes.
But they're put in a corner. So I think that they expect us to come into the office and they have a standard of us just saying, oh, we're sick, cure us, fix us, and not have any questions. But my challenge to you is to think, okay, what am I not willing to have to depend on? Like, if I'm capable of depending on just my body healing itself, that's my whole goal. But dependence on a medication, like a weight loss shot or a pill or what have you, like, I'm going to look for the other options first, that I can be not dependent on something that is lifelong. And there are situations that, there are some people that have to be on a lifelong medication. We understand that.
Yes,
but
exactly.
If you are not willing or ready, or if you're nervous about, stepping into the zone of depending on a medication for your weight loss, or your, because it's not really even a metabolic health. They say it's good for your heart. Well, the fat may be disappearing a little bit from your heart, and the cholesterol, all those things. There might be improvement in that department, but you can do that naturally. And we have data based on that. Like, anyway, so I don't want to depend on something.
Right.
I want to go to a doctor and say, well, this is not an option for me. And I'm willing to, there's that word, willing. I'm willing to do A, B, and C first before I ever
Yeah.
get on a medication that I'm gonna have to pay out of
Yeah.
pocket. It's not free, y'all. You're gonna
Mhm.
be on this for the rest of your life, and it's not free.
Yeah. Well, and when you say the word willing, I mean, you and I both know when we have our first intake call with a client, the ones who say, "Well, I'll try to do that," they're not gonna. They're not. They're going to last 2 weeks,
Yeah.
and then they've paid their big 3 month subscription, and they paid it, and it's worth nothing, right?
Yeah.
And they ghost us. But the ones who come to me, and I had one last week say, Monica, I am willing to do anything you tell me to. I am willing. I'm all in. Those are going to be with us. Those are going to be our. We had several in our weight loss group last night who were crossing the finish line
Mhm.
and totally, totally knocking it out of the park. So,
Absolutely. They
hey,
have
let's talk
that
about
freedom.
allulose. I
Yeah.
am really excited about this topic, and this topic is new for us. Um,
Newer. We know it.
newer. I mean,
Newer.
I've always loved allulose. I like it because it's not as sweet, and I don't like sweet things.
Yeah.
Um,
It doesn't
and
taste artificial.
no, no. So I've always used it, always liked it, um, always cheered for it, but I've never dug a little bit deeper into it. I hear little rumors out there. Hey, this is good for your heart, or it's a heart healer, or you hear these things and you're like, really? And the other day, I'm like, I'm gonna do some research on this. I'm gonna really open this thing up because I noticed something when I was out of Jordan's skinny syrup, which you shouldn't use anyway because it's got sucralose in it.
Mhm.
It's all I had, and I'm like, oh no, I have this RX sugar, allulose. I'll just put that in with coffee and cream. And after I did it, I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm so stuffed. I am so like heavy stuffed. Like I ate a big meal and I did not eat anything until about 3 o'clock that afternoon. And I'm like, wait a minute. So I was talking with a client and she was really, really frustrated. She was really frustrated with her progress. And I'm like, you want to try something with me? I'm doing it right now. Do you want to try something with me? Let's try a tablespoon of allulose before each meal. Let's see what happens. She was it was when on my addiction side of my practice. She was sober the entire week. Like she's
Hmm.
like, and she lost 5 pounds. And she's
Wow.
like, hey, there's something here. I didn't have any cravings. I was full. I was satisfied. And she's like, hello, something's going on. And she's the one that told me about the pixie sticks with RX sugar.
Yeah.
I can't wait to try them. I ordered them yesterday. I
I'm
just had
glad that
to.
we ordered them before we announced it.
No, I know.
They've been there for a while, but
I
usually that
know.
happens where we announce it and then
And then we
everybody
can't
gets
get
them,
it. That's
and then we
Keats
can't get it.
Chocolate did that to us.
They did, and then I haven't heard nor hide nor hair of that
from them
company.
because people go buy it. Yeah. And they
Well,
make, by the way, they make theirs with allulose.
yeah, that's why it was good, but you can never get it. I could never get the ones without dairy. So mad.
Well, I did some research. So allulose, let me read. I've got a blog coming out here. Uh, here next week. We did apply for an affiliate, so we're thinking that we'll have some discounts for our clients
Yeah.
when that comes through. So I haven't published the blog yet, but blood sugar. Did you watch that video I showed you yesterday?
Yes, I did.
My word.
I
So,
wanted to try it myself.
as
Not
soon
eat
as those pixie
pretzels
sticks
though.
come in, I am trying it. I am
You
totally
gonna try pretzels? No, you're
no,
not.
no, no.
He
I'm not
tried
gonna do that.
pretzels.
He tried pretzels. I
As a
may. I may. If I get a CGM, that's what I want to do. If I get a CGM, I'm going to be completely monitored and I'm going to do some crazy stuff. Not crazy, crazy stuff, but I may try a
Monica
potato
crazy.
or sweet
Yes.
potato or something.
Yeah.
But this guy, and this is why you can't deny it, because this guy was a type 1 diabetic.
Mhm.
He gave himself insulin. And so what he did was he did 2 tests. He did one without RX sugar, and he did one with. And he ate a whole bag of pretzels. And he showed us. I mean, you could see he had a CGM. It was connected to his arm. You could see the numbers. When he did the pixie sticks, so they just flavor the sugar, the RX, the allulose. They just flavor it, and they said it tastes like a pixie stick. his sugar actually went down a couple of points after eating the RX sugar and the pretzels. And then he did another one with nothing. And what did it go up to? You remember?
Oh, it shot up to like 142 and
172.
172.
172. And it stayed
Yeah.
there for a while.
Yeah. It did. His was and it
going
was
away.
like the honey covered
Uh-huh.
Snyder's pretzels. So
Yeah.
not only they were
Had
just pretzels,
sugar.
but they were like that high honey.
Yeah.
Man, I could.
There was a
This is so
study.
interesting.
There was a study, and I'm gonna link it to my blog. One study found that pairing allulose with sucralose cut blood sugar levels significantly within 30 minutes.
Hmm.
Or sucrose. I'm sorry, not sucralose. Sucrose. That's sugar,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
And that is the heartbeat, and that's the foundation of our practice, is lowering your insulin. In the presence of insulin, you cannot lose weight. That's why we support keto. That's why we support carnivore. Low blood sugar spikes cause you to lose weight. You start burning ketones and you burn your own body fat. I mean, it's just the foundational principle of our weight loss program. So if you can keep blood sugar down, you're going to be fat burning a lot more throughout the day. It's the blood sugar spikes that cause you to retain the fat and cause you not to be able to burn fat. It's our concept. That's why we don't eat 6 meals a day, because we don't want to spike our insulin.
Well, also the importance of documenting this. You know, if you choose that, oh, I'm going to do this allulose, but then you're eating like the carbs, just like that whole pretzel thing.
Yeah.
Like it's not going to benefit you.
No.
First of all. Second of all, you know, some doctors will, I think on a different video I watched today, I was on a video kick. They were talking, well, I have clients that are carnivore and keto, and allulose, it spikes their insulin. It does the opposite.
Right.
But this is where documenting what you consume.
Yeah.
If you are carnivore, you can overeat protein.
Yes.
That is factual.
Yes.
You
Gluconeogenesis. It turns to sugar.
Exactly. So when somebody says, "Oh, I'm eating some allulose," first of all, like, what are you eating it with? Second of all, like, how much of something are you eating? If you're eating too much protein like that, yeah, it's not going to be helpful for you, and it will do the opposite of what you think it's going to do.
Right.
Also, keeping in mind everybody is different. So, just documenting, doing your own research on your own body. That's why getting a CG M is probably beneficial.
Yeah.
But the CGM is not going to be the thing that helps you lose weight. It's what you put in your body.
Right.
And I know that sounds bizarre for me to say, but some people think because they have a CGM monitor thing that they're going to lose weight.
Yeah. Well, it's the people that eat the keto crap that say, why can't I lose weight? I've been on keto for 5 years and I'm not losing weight. Well, you're not in a calorie deficit.
Right.
There's a reason. There's definitely a reason.
There is things to follow. And there's people that, oh, you don't have to track. You don't have to do that. You don't have to stress yourself out.
Yes, you do. Yep.
If you have a goal in mind and you want to know how your body works, then yeah, you're going to have to.
So it helps for weight loss. Imagine that.
Yeah.
Research with folks taking 7 to 14 grams of allulose daily showed reduced body fat, especially that stubborn belly fat. Another study suggested 5 grams before a meal could boost your metabolism. Less fat, more energy. So I'm all about that.
Yeah.
And a lot of people are like, I don't like the taste. And I really don't like it in my coffee. I don't like sweet coffee. So I kind of have to chug it down. I had some in my coffee this morning. It lowered my blood sugar. It was 90. It was 98 before my cup of coffee. It was 94 after.
Can I do mine live?
Yeah, do it live. Absolutely. Don't show us any blood though.
No, I won't.
Make folks queasy. But
no.
So some people don't like the taste, and that's why I could have hugged my client yesterday. She's like, "Do you know that they have pixie sticks?" I'm like, "No, I don't. You just pop it in your mouth, and yeah."
I actually like the pancake syrup that they have in my coffee because it has an actual, like if you are
a maple flavor.
Yeah, it does. Yeah. So that made it.
They have a cinnamon one too.
That one you just can't taste. I can't ever taste the cinnamon in that. Yeah. So that's where I'm like, I think the pancake one was the only one I was able to.
Yeah. Well, the other warning that we have, and I want to find out, I would like to talk to somebody from the company. They have like little candy bars, RX Sugar does.
Oh yeah.
I would like to know about the tapioca fiber. I'd like to do a little bit more research on that before I would try anything else. So the only thing I'm trying, and they say they have no maltodextrin in it. So,
Well, my curiosity, since allulose is a fiber, and just so you know, it's fiber because people are like, what is it? What is it made
raisins
from?
and figs, right?
Raisins and figs. It's mine did the opposite.
It did the opposite.
Maybe I shouldn't have.
What'd you eat?
I had an avocado.
Oh, okay. All right. With allulose?
With allulose. And I had some nut pod creamer in there.
What is the number?
It was 100.
Oh, that's not. That's in the. That's
well,
in the range.
it was 93.
Okay. All right.
So it went
that's
up.
In the range. Yeah.
No, it's still good.
Yeah.
But
yeah.
Interesting.
The other thing too is the cravings, the GLP-1 factor, and this is what I am most interested in right now because you guys know my GLP-1 story. I've been very, very honest with you. I wanted to know, what are these people feeling a couple summers ago? What are they feeling? What are they talking about? No food noise. What are they feeling? I didn't want the vomit part. Thankfully, I didn't have that. But it is very, very, very similar. That in carnivore. Carnivore, you have that same feeling. And then this, when I put it in my coffee, I am not hungry until about 1, 2. And I went to the gym and worked out. Usually I come home just starving after the gym. But allulose just might be your secret weapon against sugar cravings. It tastes sweet, but it does not light up your brain's reward system like regular sugar. It helps, helping you break free from that one cookie turns into 10. Plus, it may boost your body's natural GLP-1 levels, making you feel fuller longer. I don't know. We're in the research stage of it ourselves right now. So, pretty cool stuff.
We'll let you know. We'll let you know how it goes.
Pretty cool stuff. I'm excited to get the packets because I don't like
me
the
too.
taste.
So. I don't, and maybe it's I don't know if there's a difference between the liquid and the powder too. Like that's.
Yeah.
I think you might have said that, but I don't know. That's my curiosity.
I did the liquid. Yeah. And you just test yourself. You just do your own testing.
Do what I just did. You see what it does. I'm going to test myself one more time a little bit later because see what it does. Yeah. But
exactly. Well, the other thing too is coffee naturally spikes your blood sugar.
Oh, yeah.
Because of the, the caffeine just automatically gets your adrenaline going, which spikes your insulin. So anyway, there's a lot to talk about. A lot to think about. If you're struggling, we understand. We totally get it. It's a lot of hard work to get your health back. I love RFK's saying that. What is it? How does he say it? Sick people have one wish. Well people have 1,000 wishes. Sick people have one wish, and that's to get better, to get healthy. And so, it's hard. It's hard work. It takes grit. It takes stubbornness. You have to be stubborn with yourself. It takes a willingness to do what it takes. And that's why we do what we do. Yeah. A shot's not going to fix that. A shot, a medication, a shake, a magical potion is not going to fix the inside. And it's not going to give you the core work that you have to do. And so walking alongside people, it's a difference. We see this in the difference. We see the difference of the coaching aspect of our practice in our groups. The people who are in groups, in the group lessons, and they don't have that one-on-one, they tend to do their own thing and fall off the wagon a lot easier than people who have to look us in the eye every week and say, hey, I ate this. The macro checking, the accountability keeps people on target. And so if you need help, reach out to us. Our website is kmhealthcoaching.org. Make sure that you set up a free call with us first before you decide what program, because we may decide together that, hey, you need to be in this program, or you're struggling with food addiction or eating addiction, and you might need this line, instead of the other. So any last minute thoughts?
No, I think we covered a lot. A lot of randomness.
A lot of et cetera today.
Yes.
I don't know how I'm going to
actually. I would just challenge you this week and even today. Just reflect on what are you willing to do for metabolic health? Just like that whole you have one life to live.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, you could take it as I'm going to be a gluttonous
Mm-hmm.
or
Yeah.
eat whatever I want and live your life, maybe a shorter life in that way, as
Mm-hmm.
that's your choice.
Yeah.
But if you're wanting to, realize I've got one life to live, I've got a family I want to see grow up, I've
Mm-hmm.
got this, friends and family that I want to be able to be active with and have fun and live
Mm-hmm.
this life to the fullest in that
Yeah.
way, then those are some questions to ask yourself. Like,
Yeah.
what am I willing to do?
Yeah.
What steps am I willing to take to live my life to the fullest,
Yeah. So
being
true.
happy and healthy and not dependent?
Mm-hmm.
Can I tell you one thing? This is my extremist mind, okay? My extremist mind always
We
takes
get it
it.
from our father.
Me too. My extremist mind takes me to a point where I'm like, okay, if the world ended, how long would I survive without depending on anything? Like,
Mm-hmm.
I'd be able to go hunt and gather. I'd be able to
Uh-huh.
do this. Am I going to survive without medication? Yeah, because
Mm-hmm.
I'm not on any. Um,
Mm-hmm.
I like to go take it to like the what if. Like,
Yeah.
what if the world ended?
I would struggle.
Maybe we wouldn't be
I
here.
couldn't kill anything. That would be my thing. I couldn't hunt.
You would if you were
And
hungry.
I don't think I could. I am pro hunting. Oh, a freezer full of meat, but I just don't think I could kill anything. And I struggle touching fish. So I don't think I could go fishing either. I could catch them, but I have to hold my reel out and they have to take the fish off because they
But
bite. Those fish bite.
again, you would if you were hungry.
If I was hungry.
Yeah.
Speaking of extremists, do you know something funny? So you know our father, right?
Yes. Yes.
King of
He doesn't watch
conspiracy.
this anyway,
He
right?
does not. But our precious daughter-in-laws, I'm not going to tell you which one. There may or may not be a file on things that he said.
No.
There may or may not be amongst our family.
Bless
I
your
don't know about it.
heart.
Oh my gosh, it is hilarious.
That is amazing.
I love watching our kids because our dad comes over every Sunday night, and I love watching them belly laugh at the things he says because you don't know what's coming out of his mouth.
Yes.
And we have to warn people. We have to warn them. This just be careful. It's dad.
Yeah, I love it.
Hilarious. All right, guys, we are ready to get our day going. I'm going to go get some meat. I'm hungry and got clients all day. So, hey, if you need help, kmhealthcoaching.org. We're here every Tuesday morning talking about random stuff.
Random stuff.
And go find our podcast, Beyond the Scale, Weight Loss and Wellness. You can hear more of Coach Darcy and myself. And we've got a couple of heavy sciencey ones coming up, I was told. So she makes me do it. All right, guys. We'll see you next Tuesday. Take
Bye.
care. Hey, it's Coach Monica here. Guess what? If you're fed up with feeling stuck in your battle with weight or food, I've got something just for you. Check out our free Facebook groups. Over at Food Addiction and Recovery, I'm over there waiting for you. We're going to walk this journey together. It's about getting real, sharing our stories, and lifting each other up. We're in this together every step of the way. And if you're curious about changing your life with keto, the Weight Loss Project is where you want to be. Coach Darcy is amazing. And together, we're not just talking about losing weight. We're talking about finding a happier, healthier you. So, what do you say? Are you ready to join us? The links are in the show notes below, and I'm telling you, this is more than an invite. It is the start of something great. We cannot wait to see you over there.